We have to act like we've got the virus. Yes?
Okay.
Are you guys acting like you've got the virus now? I mean, have you got the virus? No. Do you have the virus?
No, we don't. Otherwise we won't be at work.
Ah, you see, that's where you're wrong, you see, because you could have the virus, couldn't you? You just might not have symptoms,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And therefore what you're meant to do is you're meant to act like you've got the virus.
Yeah.
So you're not doing a great job, to be honest, and so I think you should put your masks on.
I'll do that now for you.
Thanks, wonderful.
So,
what about you?
What do you mean about acting like?
Well, because it says on the government adverts you should act like you should pretend like you've got it. You should act like you have got it already. So you could have the virus right now, right? You agree with that, right?
I understand.
It's possible, yeah.
I understand that there's a concept.
And that's why you've got to act like it, so that you know that you're vigilant and you don't kill people, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that point. So...
Great. Okay. So make sure you keep up the act. Very, very important.
Okay.
Just one last thing as well. You may not have realised this, but I'm actually a member of a very unusual philosophical group of people who are calling for the government to make reproduction illegal, because that is the cause of all problems and all. The more people are born, the more problems we have. Yeah. And because of the government's new guidelines to act like you've got the virus, do you realise that means you should not have any close contact with anyone at all, even with your partners? Do you accept that?
Well, if you're in the same bubble...
Even if you're in the same bubble, you still have to act like you've got the virus.
If you're in the same household...
Yes.
You're allowed to be with each other.
Well, you are allowed to, but if you want to stick to the guidelines properly, you would stay... If you knew you had the virus now, you wouldn't go close to the people even that you're living with, would you?
Well,
would you agree? If you knew that you actually had the virus, you wouldn't go near them, right? So therefore the government have told us that we have to act like we have got the virus, in which case you shouldn't really technically go near them either at the moment. Okay, so please don't go near people. Okay, make sure you keep apart, and the two of you are a little bit close. So you need to be acting like you've got the virus, okay? Lovely, thank you very much. Sorry, ladies, the latest government campaign says that we are asked to act like we've got the virus. So are you acting like you've got the virus?
I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, are you really putting on that like you could have the virus? Are you behaving like that at all times? I'll tell you why, because I have a question about it. I mean, this might sound flippant, but it's honestly the truth, yeah? If I act like I've got the virus, yeah, then one of the things that I would definitely refrain from doing is sleeping with anyone, especially even my wife. Because if I've got the virus, it's not right for me to sleep with my wife because she might catch it, and then that might be caught to other people. So therefore, it seems to me that if we have to act like we've got the virus, we should not be sleeping with anyone. Would you agree with that?
I'm not going to question it. I'm doing my bit, so all right.
Do you think it's okay to sleep with people when you're meant to be acting like you've got the virus? Can I ask you one more thing? What is it about your job that could not be replaced by a robot? Can you answer the question? What is it about your job that couldn't be done by a robot?
Right.
I shouldn't be here, and this is part of my job.
So, because of COVID,
yes.
You're not actually meant to be out, are you? It's not essential what you're doing right now. Filming people, asking people questions about sleeping with their partners isn't essential, okay? So, I'm going to tell you to move on.
Right, hold on a second.
No, I've explained it to you.
Hold on a second.
I've explained it to you.
Hold on a second. I know you've explained it to me.
Move on.
Yeah.
You're going to be given a fine, okay?
Okay, but you haven't. But what happens if? Okay, you're saying I've got no reason to be here, but I would say you haven't asked me why I'm here.
You're here filming.
This is my work.
But that's not essential, is it? Filming people.
What do you mean it's not filming? This is my work. This is what I do.
Asking people, is it okay to sleep with your partner?
Yeah, that's part of my work. Yes,
okay.
I put it on YouTube.
Well, I don't think it's essential. Okay.
If you think it's essential, it's my work.
You can do that at home, can't you?
Well, I can't do this at home because you're not after
move on, because what you're doing isn't essential right now. And if you don't move on, you'll be given a fine. Okay. So you've got a few minutes. Pat yourself up and then move on. All right.
All right. Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
It's not a threat. No, I didn't threaten you in any way. I've told you to move on, or you'll be getting a fine.
Right. Even though I've told you that I've got reasonable excuse to be out, plus I'm exercising.
It's not reasonable excuse.
I'm exercising.
You're standing there.
Pardon?
You're standing there.
I was exercising. I understand, but I can have a break, can't I? And I'm a journalist as well.
What's your ID?
I don't need it. Do I need an ID to be a journalist? Do I need ID to be a journalist?
To be press, to if
Where
you're
does
out
it
doing
say
your
on the
job.
laws? Where does it say in the rules that I need to have? I've got the rules on me. I've got the rules on me. Should we look at it? Should we have a look and see if it says that you have to have any particular ID? I can prove to you that I'm a journalist if you want. Anyway, the government have recently said that we should all be acting like we've got the virus. Are you guys acting like you got it?
Yes, we say. You able to?
I'm not in a position to comment on that.
No, but you should be, according to the latest government campaign, acting like you got it. And to be honest with you, you look like you're kind of relaxed, just having a coffee. You're not really taking this act seriously. You've got to pretend that you got it. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
And also, the other thing about it.
I'm currently working. I'm not going to give my personal opinion on the matter. Right. Okay.
But what about the legal problems? Because I'm part of a small group of people that are encouraging everyone to rethink reproduction, because that's the cause of all problems, sex and reproduction.
Right.
Surely if we are to act like we've got the virus, surely that means we should be refraining from having any sexual activity, even with our partners.
Again, you're asking me for my personal opinion.
Why? Because this is a legal thing. I mean, if you're to act like you've got the virus, that means you shouldn't go anywhere near anyone.
I don't make the laws. I just enforce them, I'm afraid.
Right.
So I'm not gonna give my.
Can I ask you one other thing? Sure. What's the purpose of all these rules that they've made up? What's the actual purpose? What are they trying to do with the rules?
Ultimately, save lives, surely.
Okay, so is there any evidence that these rules are actually saving lives?
I'm not a person who's sat there and looked at the statistics, but I'd hope to think so.
You hope to think so, because the government haven't come up with any evidence that any of this actually makes any difference to the mortality rate.
Right. I don't know. I don't look at those figures.
Right. Don't you think the police should, if they're going to be policing this with violence, which is what you are, right? Don't you think that you should really know what it is that you're trying to achieve? Because don't you think there should be evidence that what you're policing is actually achieving saving lives? Because for example, there are more suicides. You know about that, right?
I think everyone is obviously not in a great position at the moment, obviously mentally.
So the lockdown could be causing more deaths than it's saving, couldn't it?
I'm not here to speculate on that matter, no. So yeah. I'm afraid.
Okay, but it could do, couldn't it?
I don't know. I couldn't honestly say.
I wonder if you could answer a couple of questions for me. I'm very much for the lockdown. I think it's great. It stops so much silly monkey business with the people. But what I think is difficult for my viewers to understand is, what is the point of...
We're police, not politicians.
No, but what's the point of what you're doing? What's the point of locking people up? What's trying to be achieved here?
So you need to ask a local MP. Go and speak to the politicians.
You don't know? You don't know what the point of what you're doing is? What's the reason that you're locking people down? I mean, can't you tell me that?
That's a political decision, isn't it?
A political decision? What, to lock people up is a political decision? It's nothing to do with their well-being, you mean?
You're saying about lockdown, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm saying the lockdown, the purpose of it, what is it? I know, but what's the purpose of what you're doing?
You need to go and ask politicians.
Really, you don't...
I can't offer a personal opinion, can I?
Well, don't you think it's important that you know why you're doing things as drastic as telling people they have to be at home and controlling them?
The Prime Minister's explaining it daily, it's on briefings and stuff.
Sir, if you want to take an interview from a police officer, then go speak to the press office, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Just one last thing.
No. If you want an opinion from a police officer...
Yeah, not an opinion.
Go to the press office.
Not an opinion. I don't want an opinion.
Sir, we're not giving an interview.
You're not.
No, not going to talk to you about this.
Okay. Why? Have you got nothing to hide? You've got nothing to worry about.
Go to the press office, sir.
Right. But if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to worry about, no?
Just repeating myself. Go to the press office.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Enjoy the rest of your day.